So on the road, complexity is our enemy. Every wire that we put through might fail. Every component that we use might break. And well, you might find yourself in a place when there is no Amazon Prime. I spent years designing electrical systems, so I know what I could build, but I also know what could break. Also, when we just arrived a year ago to the US, we just wanted to hit the road, so we knew we wanted to build something as fast as possible. So we went with an all-in-one electrical system, the EcoFlow Power Kit. Not because it's perfect, but because it's simple. This video isn't a review. It is our opinion after a year of real-world testing, which reviews never do. So we basically have three main components in this electrical system: the distribution center, the two batteries, and the hub, which practically contains everything that we might need in an electrical system. First thing I'm going to show you is the distributor, which has this nice cover. And I don't know if you can see it, but we have the AC part, all the breakers, and the DC part with all the fuses. And of course, all of this is a smart distribution center, so it is connected to the hub, and it gets readings of every single line separately, so you know at any moment how much current it draws, what is the wattage it consumes, both for the AC lines and the DC lines as well. Next thing I want to talk about are the two batteries here. This entire system can support up to 3 batteries. So I have two 5 kilowatts each batteries. You can add a third one, so you can have a total of 15 kilowatts batteries. These batteries are not just any batteries. These batteries are smart. They have their own protections and their own monitoring. I think Chasey ran away. Chasey! So as I said, these batteries has their own monitoring and their own protections, which the hub reads, and you can at any moment know how much voltage they have. She just saw a dog and decided to jump off the van and chase it. That's why she's named Chasey. Right, Chasey? She chases stuff. Go to mommy. Daddy's working. So these batteries send all the information to the hub, and you can know at every single moment what's the voltage, what the current is coming out or in, and temperature and stuff like that. And of course monitor the general states and health of your batteries, and that's an important thing because things could happen in vans. And the last but not least is our hub, which is, I think, one of the most advanced thing in the field. Why? Because instead of those 10 components you usually see in off-grid systems, you have only one for everything. It has the transformers, the inverters, the chargers, the controllers, the protections, and the monitoring of every single thing that is connected to it in a single time. 3 batteries can be connected. We have 2 connected right now, and I have a third port as well. I have an input for AC current for the shore power line that I will show you in a moment. And I have 2 inputs, actually 3, but 2 of them are right now, one connected to the alternator, the battery of the van. While we drive, it's charging the batteries as well. And we have the solar panels, of course, connected as well. And we have a third port for a smart generator, or even another pair of solar panels if you have like portable ones. And also we have an extra AC outlet, which we use to charge our Ryobi batteries, so we have all the time at least one charged. So this is more or less it. This run everything in our van, from the fridge, lights, oven, air conditioning, water pump, all of the systems of the van. Most critically the air condition, which this is where we learn our first lesson, and we will talk about it inside the van. Oh, and by the way, these two connections are the DC out and AC out that goes to the distributor here. And these two are Ethernet connections that goes directly to the front to our control panel. And that I will show you in a bit. I did the math. Our AC draws 1000 watts of power and our capacity is 10,000 watts per hour. So in theory, we're supposed to get around 10 hours of cooling. In reality, the strongest 12 volt port in our system only gives around 40 amps, which are more or less 500 watts. So yeah, we had to figure something out. We already got so many alerts because of that in our system, and a few weeks ago we also had to replace a fuse because it blew up. And also we're living in a van, meaning we cook inside, we open and close the doors, we exist, we heat up the place. So even if we could use the AC on full power the entire day, the batteries will drain in 5 hours. And sometimes it's a necessity because, well, we have this little girl back here and we can't always take her everywhere we go. So we have to somehow control the climate inside our van when we leave her. Luckily, we found that our AC has a sueño mode, which means it puts the AC in some sort of an echo mode, and that limits the AC to draw only 500 watts, up to 500 watts, which is inside our limitations of the 12 volt ports. That said, if I had to do this again, I would probably buy a 48 volts AC and connect it to an 48 volts port that our system has specifically for air conditioning. And of course I will add another battery so we can handle this consumption for longer. So the AC was a math problem that we could solve by playing a little bit with the settings, and it works amazing. But we still have the shore power issues, which we learned the hard way once we left the US with the van. So in the US, the power is more or less stable, which means that there is a 110 volts plug on the wall, you connect to it and you can draw up to 16 amps in a regular home. But once you get outside the US, that's where our problem started. Back in Mexico and all the way to here, right now in Costa Rica, all the way in Central America, the same problem. The current is not stable. The connections are not great, which means we cannot draw that much power. So here we have our control panel that is connected to our system that is under the bed. And right now you can see that we are pulling around 800 watts of power from the outside, a little bit from solar, we are kind of under a shade, and around 750 from the shore power. And we are outputting right now around 500 watts, which is everything that is on right now, including our AC, which is the largest consumption, which is the largest. And if you look closer, if I go to the input, you can see here the input graph. Right now it's pretty stable around the 7 amps from the outside at around 115 volts, which is great and amazing. We are currently in a place where we can actually draw enough energy to keep all of our necessities powered. But if I wanted, for example, to draw a little bit more current from the outside, from the shore power, I could raise it, for example, to 15 amps and raise this as well to 15 amps. This is the AC input and this is the actual current that I want to draw from this input. And I could draw and charge our system to whatever the outside allows me to do. Right now this is enough. And we found a lot of places where this current right now is not stable. So once I cross a certain amperage or under a certain voltage, our system just will show here a drop and start raising again, because the input from the outside, the shore power, might not be as stable as in the US. So in our case here in Costa Rica, near to Tamarindo, we found a place that might not look so pretty in the outside, but has all the amenities we need, and even an electrical outlet that works and is stable. Maybe it's because we are the only ones in this camping site, but right now we are stable and we keep up with our necessities. After all, we are grateful for the system, and that if anything happens, we have alerts and it shows us what's going on and which port is the problematic and what we need to change. Even if the fuse blew up, you don't need to guess, you just go to here, you will see like a red triangle at the corner, there is an alert, you can press it and it will say replace fuse for, I don't know, for port number 15, which in this case is our AC. And well, that was a pretty fast fix. And I can tell you, I've built systems that are made from so many components that need to talk to each other, and it's just a mess to make it work. And this just works. I mean, we can be outside, just, I don't know, going to a restaurant for a couple of hours, watching a World Cup game somewhere, go Argentina, and I could connect to the app, for example, and you immediately can see that batteries, which sources are right now charging. You can see here that we are connected to the grid, and you can see that it's connected to the alternator and to the solar panels. And if I had another source like smart generation, it would appear also here, and it's just amazing. I mean, we were in situations where we are climbing a volcano, there is a little bit of reception, I connect real quick just to see that the AC is drawing enough energy, which means it's working, and it means also that the van is under climate control and Chasey can just relax until we come back. So after a year of living in the van and experiencing cold, heat, humidity, salty air, you name it, I can say that we are very grateful that we chose to have this system. Never had an issue, and well, knock on wood, after all, this system did something that a custom build maybe wouldn't do, which is peace of mind to enjoy our journey and not being focused on the van. But there is one thing I would like to talk about, which is not about the technical aspects of the system, but about the price. Because this system is not on the cheap side, unfortunately. So let's talk about the cost. A year ago when we built this van, the system costed us, including the hub, the distributor, the batteries, and all the cables that connect to one another, to the solar panels, to the shore power, everything you need, costed us around $10,500, which is a lot. Right now it costs more or less the same. We will put a link below. If you want to support us, I invite you to click it and see all the specifications and everything I talked about for yourself. And of course, it doesn't include all the peripherals, like all of your appliances and the cables that go inside of your wall, switches, outlets, you name it. But it is inevitable, every van is going to need those, so we're not putting it inside the price that we paid. It's just a system for a system. But I talked a little bit with the chat this morning just because I was interested to know about the DIY system, the price. If I would build the same system with the same capabilities, it will cost around $7,500 to $9,000 with the high quality of product, which is Victron, which you can check it out as well. So the gap is around $2,500 to $1,000, but you get to do it pretty fast, plug and play, and don't have to calculate anything in between to connect all the components. So for me as an electrical engineer, that's a win. That being said, as I already told you, there are a few things I would change about our build, with which one of them is going with a 48 volts AC, so we could utilize the 48 volts port at our system and draw enough energy to use it full power. The other thing is adding a third battery so we can last for longer periods in between charges. And last but not least, it's not connected directly to our system, but our electrical build in general is maybe playing a little bit with the locations of some of our switches and ports and outlets in our van, which at the beginning I thought it would be great, for example, to have a USB port inside this cabinet above me for the electrical things that I'm charging there, but we ended up using it more like an external and pulling wires just out of the opening to charge stuff outside of the cabinet. That's just one example, and that's another thing that I would change. Now it's already 4 o'clock. Sarah and I planned to go surf today, and we had a pretty long day filming and working and also watching the Argentina match.
Vamos Argentina!
Right. So let's go and take a look at the waves and also a few last things. As I already told you, I'm an electrical engineer, and a year ago when we built it, it went against my instincts of building everything from scratch, and it turned out to be a great decision. So I'd like to hear one thing from you. If you were building such a van, such a system, would you go with the do-it-yourself way and save some money, spare a little bit more time building it, or would you choose to do it in the all-in-one way like we did? I'm genuinely interested to know your opinion about it, so drop it down here in the comment section. Okay? And the waves actually look pretty good right now, so we're going safe surfing. If you want to support us, so like this video, leave a comment, maybe even subscribe. Let us know if you would like to hear about anything else in our van. I'm open for anything, and I just want to hear from you guys, so see you next time.